I'm gonna start off by saying that I was a bit disappointed that MatPat's theory, aka the film theorist, was wrong. I wish he was right. I really do. It was a solid theory, but he was wrong. There weren't that many things I actually disliked about this film. The score was one. I mean, it's not John Williams, and it was a bit jarring at times. I really think they should have gone with the guy who makes the Clone Wars theme, and I think he makes the Star Wars Rebels theme as well, because I think he melds the themes of his style and John Williams' style better than whoever made this score, because it just wasn't that great overall. Plus, there wasn't an opening crawl. They're trying to differentiate the products between the Saga series and the spin-offs, so I see why, but for the average fan, I do think it would have been beneficial for there to have been an opening crawl, just because it would have given them context as to where they are in the Star Wars universe and what time span they're in, because some people wouldn't even know they're between episodes 3 and 4. Some people are also, well, they're unaware. I wouldn't say they're stupid, they just don't know, so they've no need to know. So no, I'm not calling people who don't know Star Wars stupid. The first and third acts were really well paced. I do feel the second one was a bit lagging. There was a bit too much stuff on it, a bit too much going on. It was a bit slow, but it wasn't that much that it really distracted from the film overall, so that's a minor point, but it still was there. Now to everything that was essentially very good with this film. That was a lot of berries. I'm gonna say one more. Very good. I'll add the good. The world they created, actually the worlds, they created quite a few different worlds for this film, and it was incredible, and they mentioned others. There were just hints and drops. There were so many cameos and Easter eggs as well. You know, if you like Star Wars a bit, you would even pick up on some of the stuff that was happening that were Easter eggs in this film. Like, it was that on the nose, but also subtle at the same time. And it felt like all the characters fit into the worlds so well. It wasn't like they had to create an entire new concept. All the groundwork was there, and they just had to inhabit it with people. This film had incredible CGI, as always. I think it has the best space fight scene in history in this film, even better than Return of the Jedi. I think this is even better than that. This was stunning. Some of the stuff in this film, the visuals were incredible. The action alone was mind-blowing, especially right at the end. Like, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the beach fight scenes were insane. Plus, there was a lot of comedy in this film, and as you guys know, I like action and comedy. Sci-fi sprinkled in there too, so really, this was the creme de la creme for me. And maybe, yes, maybe this film should have been R-rated instead of PG-13, because there was a lot of death in this film. I mean, just from stormtroopers, but then just other pilots and characters just passing and dying. There was a lot, so maybe, you know, if you have a 6-year-old kid, don't take them to see this film. Now, I am no master editor. I know I am no master editor, but the editing in this film has to be some of the finest editing ever. Like, the fact that they were going from multiple fight scenes and multiple places on the planet to create a cohesive story and something which you felt attached to, I think that's freaking insane, and that's all through the editing in that case. Personally, for me, I don't like C-3PO, okay? I really don't. He just seems like a dick. I don't like that. I like R2, I like BB-8, but I think I like K-2SO even more than all of them. Like, see, I don't want to get into spoilers. He just is the best. He is just the best. Like, if you could think about something and say the best, it's K-2SO. He brings so much comedy to the film, and it just works so well. Like, it was a very dark film, don't get me wrong. This was a super dark film. Probably the darkest film out of any Star Wars film. But he alleviated that so well, and it wasn't jarring, it was just right. I will give you, some of the lines were a bit out of place, but most of it just hit so well. Like, people were just laughing in the theater. I was having fits. You really felt watching this film, especially in the third act, that any character could die at any time, and that hasn't been the case with any Star Wars film ever. Like, in Return of the Jedi, you expect them all to survive, and they all survive, but with this, it really was up for debate, and it was almost like, are they gonna survive? I'm not gonna spoil anything, whether they all survive, some of them survive, one of them survives, none of them survive, but it was that which just kept you on the edge of your seat, and it just got you more involved and engrossed in the story, way more than any Star Wars film, in my opinion. For me, I don't think a Star Wars film is a Star Wars film without lightsabers, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like Episode 4 so much. I'm not saying Episode 4 is a terrible film, but for me, especially as a kid, there were a lot of pacing problems as well with Episode 4. When watching the original trilogy as a kid, compared to 5 and 6, 4 was definitely, for me, the weakest of them. I'm gonna have to go back and watch all 3 of them again, because I haven't watched them in about a year, so I'm gonna rewatch them. I rewatch them every year, just to like see how my grading changes, just like last year. Last year, my favorite film out of the series was 5. This year, it's 6. Maybe Rogue One is up there. Maybe Rogue One is up there. I don't know. I'm not saying anything. Maybe Rogue One is up there. This film felt like Star Wars, but at the same time, it didn't feel like Star Wars. Like, there was something in it which just made it fresh and new while being cohesive and coherent with the mythos and universe that was already there. This was the perfect prequel to episode 4. Now, when you watch the film and how it ends, you will find out exactly why. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on at the end of the film, obviously, but I'll just say it was super epic, and it literally is like, it fits so perfectly. It was like in a 100-meter race, the 100-meter sprinter is coming up. He's coming up to his teammate, his partner, and the baton is so swift, it just works. It just works, and everything just flows so well. And that is what happened at the end of this film. It tied up everything so incredibly. And overall, I think this film had a much more Star Wars Rebels feel to it than any of the main saga films. I think the tones of this were much similar to Star Wars Rebels than the original trilogy and even the prequel trilogy. And that's not a bad thing, because I think it's a fantastic film. I think it just shows how much they're actually pulling potentially from Rebels and Clone Wars in the future. Who knows, Snoke might be Darth Maul. I don't think he is, but he might be. The voices sound awfully similar. I suppose it's just a voice. All the characters fit the plot and story so well, and you don't ever think for a second that there's not enough character development for each character. Donnie Yen's character was incredible, and you got just enough for him to be able to push the story. For Baze Malgus, I think his name was, I can't remember his exact name, but Donnie Yen's partner, you got enough character development from him to be able to say, yeah, I got enough out of him to satisfy where the story took it. I mean, Riz Ahmed he's a Brit, he's also Asian. I'm gonna be like, he's the best. He was really, really good in this film, and he had layers of character development, but the main stay for this film were definitely Felicity Jones and Cassius, who was played by Diego Luna, I believe. So honestly, those two had such big arcs in the film, way more than any of the characters in The Force Awakens. Like, trust me, it puts The Force Awakens a tiny bit to shame. And this is only 1 year on, so I can't wait to see what they do with episode 8 now, because maybe they've taken some leaves out of Rogue One's books. To end this, I'd just like to say, Gareth Edwards, my good man, thank you very much. You may have brought the best Star Wars film ever. That's a big claim, but for me, this was something else. This was a very unique thing. They took a couple of lines from the opening crawl of episode 4 and made an entire story around it and put it on cinema. Obviously, some of these stories have been pre-told in books and comics, etc., but not in film, and I think he did an outstanding job with it. I wasn't too keen on Godzilla. It wasn't that great for me. You didn't really get that much to see of the Godzilla, but this has definitely upped his stock for me a lot. So what would I give this film out of 10? As you know, that's what I do. It's just what I do. Just do it! Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Just do it. I'm gonna slate this film at a nail-biting 9 out of 10. Yes, that's a 9. 9. It's like I'm saying no in German. 9. But no, 9 out of 10. Seriously, it's that good. Honestly, go see this film. I'm gonna see it at least 2 or 3 more times. I really hope my opinion doesn't change on 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 17th viewing. Anyway guys, if you did enjoy this video, please do like, share, comment and subscribe to the channel down here. If you didn't, then Lord Vader himself is gonna come after you. You don't want that. Do you know why you don't want that? Actually, I mean, he was in this film a lot, but he was in this film enough. Don't go into this film expecting it's a Darth Vader film, because it's not, but you get that feel that shit is gonna go down in this film. And if you don't want Vader to come after you, then just subscribe anyway. I've been Original Comment. You have been great, and I'll see you next time. Skadoosh.